Freedom 35, 5, 5, 5.
Dude, start the podcast.
Wow.
Are we recording? Jordan?
Jordan's recording.
All right, guys. No swing. Welcome back, Freedom 35ers, Cardano NFT podcast, episode 68, technically episode 69.
Nice.
For all the OGs out there. Thank you. My name is Tommy. I go by TONY.
My name is TJ. I go by Lazy T.
And I'm the other Tom. I go by Lavish Bear.
And tonight, Terminals.
Terminals.
That
That's
almost
not-
works, right?
That's not an ordinary name.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Okay, we're not starting this again. Come on.
All right, that's trying to punt. Hey, we got Ordinal Donald Duck over there. Give me a Donald Duck. Give me that Donald Duck impression. Can you do one? I can't.
No. And if I did attempt one, it'd be way too loud.
I can't fucking. Yeah, I'd probably like rip my screen off right now and just break my mic. And probably break everybody's ears if I did that. What? Hey, Donald Duck. Whoa, let's chill with all that. It's cartoon sailor. Okay.
Eh,
Yeah,
it's
if you
a
just
fact,
play
though.
original character. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
We don't want Walt
Yeah.
knocking on the door.
All right. Hey,
Wait,
go.
what?
Don't
Walt
fade.
can't. All right.
Whoa. His name's not Walt. It's Ward. Ward.
Who?
I'm trying
Didn't
to go. Didn't he? Didn't he? All right, we gotta stop. Dude, another week, another episode. 2 weeks ago was the last podcast over here. Took a little week off from the recorded, and now we over here. We did a little Twitter space last week. That was 2.5 hour stream. We did Blake's and then rolled right into that. It was definitely Freedom After Dark. We ran
guys
with
were
Fat
late.
Alpha. We were late. TJ had to fill in for a little stand-in. Had the music going on with like the ocean sound. We didn't even realize
Yeah,
it.
but I didn't know that. Like, if I unmuted myself to say something, the music went away and I couldn't put it back on. So I wish I just kept the music going the whole time.
Yeah. I mean,
And then you have some issues with
worked.
the voice changers on there as well.
Well, because I was clicking through them to
Yeah,
hear,
you
you
can
could hear
delete
a
it after the
test.
recorded version, but I want
Yeah,
to go back
'cause
and
you
listen to that.
You could test it, but when you put it on, cycle through, it just saves it. Like, it just automatically puts it on for you. So when you start talking, you use the voice changer. I didn't know that.
dude, it was just like whale sounds underneath. Like it was just TJ talking. It was throwing me off. And then I
Tommy
also,
joined and left because of it.
I took 5 minutes of my time. Totally thought I was up there and you guys were on mute, and it turns out I wasn't talking to anybody. And literally it was just like sweating bricks over there, just trying to like fill, and it was like to no reason at all. It was
You had that thing when Twitter, but you join in, you're like in the shadow realm. Like you're in
Yeah.
there, you can see everything, but like no one can hear you. You can't hear anyone. You don't know what's going on. Yeah.
It's just, it was the most embarrassing thing that wasn't embarrassing at all. I'm just glad that nobody heard me talking, because I was getting really upset. I was like, guys, I was about to text you. I'm like, what are you guys doing? You're killing me right now. And then you're like, Tommy, so nice to join. So yeah, that was a fun experience. We maybe we're gonna we'll streamline our Twitter space setup for the computer maybe next time.
Yeah, I think that'll be a little easier for me, especially with the muting and unmuting shit, because I felt so confined to my phone. I wanted to pace around and walk around the room, and I felt like I had to look down the whole time to keep
Yeah.
hitting it. I know people do space all the time, but I just feel like that function of it is very annoying.
I don't understand why you couldn't walk around with your phone in your hand.
Because I was just paranoid because I was on the main account and I was afraid I wanted to start talking or saying something random when I wasn't unmuted.
What
Yeah.
does that have to do with walking around?
Because I would have stared at my phone the whole time. If I wanted to walk around and pace like I was on the telephone or talking, there'd be like a pause, someone else be talking.
Yeah. I was in the same kind of boat. I actually sat in my chair the entire time. I think I got up maybe once, and I was like, I gotta stop doing this. It was annoying.
Took
But
hamburgers at one point.
I know Tom was in it. We could hear your microphone too. Or what are you cooking? Or like, how do you hear that? I'm like, what are you using right now?
There's a new AirPods. They were kind of failing me on that. I thought they'd cancel that out a little better.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounded pretty good though. But yeah, so that was a fun time. So we're back another week on the podcast. And we got a chance to catch up. We've been hanging out with Blake quite a bit these last couple of weeks. Got a chance to do his show, and then had him on, hosted him on for the first I guess project interview for the Spark Lab, which is his new project. It's the video content library for crypto and NFTs. I only remember that because I had to keep doing a thumbnail in the description, but it was good to have him onto the show. It's pretty crazy and surreal when we thought about it. We were looking at it on Monday where he was like on, I think, January of 2022.
That's wild.
Just really, really crazy to think about. Now here he is launching his own project and essentially video content library for like I said, crypto and NFTs. It's going to be your one-stop shop. So you don't get distracted and go on YouTube and just start scrolling for like a bunch of different shorts and things.
I gotta
So
go back and watch that. I wonder what it's like. It's been so long. Even just us, I feel like we've gotten so much better. I hope we have, at least. That
yeah,
feels like we have. So I'm curious to go back and watch that. Even, for all four of us.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it either. Actually, it's a good idea because I was listening back to this one. I was, God, it sounded pretty good. Like, it was a good little interview. But no, shout out to Blake, because the Spark Lab is definitely something I think obviously we announced. That was one big thing. We kind of like softly touched on that a little bit in the stream, like just kind of like, oh yeah, but like that is our first official partnership.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So
shout
it's
out
really
to Blake and the Spark Lab with that.
Yeah, it's really cool to be a part of something like that and be a featured content creator on a platform, which is, like I said, still surreal, I think, for us. When Tom, you said it even in the stream, we were just like, it's kind of cool to hear it like out loud.
It's pretty neat. It's not bad at all. We should have hyped that up a little more. We needed those, like, New Year's poppers or something like that.
Yeah, it's like,
we could have all done it right when he announced it.
Yeah,
maybe think of that.
I don't even know what those fucking
confetti
things are called that you blow out of, and it unravels and makes a loud noise. A little noisemaker or whatever.
Yeah,
noisemaker. Yeah.
Yeah.
We should have got some of those.
A little.
I was the kid that liked to use the spinning one and just be super annoying with it.
It's rough.
Yeah, those things.
I mean, it was just as bad with the little one you can, blow into or whatever, and like punch people in the face with the end of it.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. The little thing.
That one.
Yeah. 100%. No, it was really cool. Like I said, we're officially part of the Spark Lab now. So we will be. I know we announced that over in the stream, but we'll be getting an affiliate code as well. So if anybody's watching and wants to support our channel, that also supports Blake, and indirectly it supports us as well. So there's a nice way to go ahead and double dip. To both of us.
Nice little plug there.
Hey, plug it inside the podcast, baby. We don't got ads, but that's
double dip support. You mean like that? You want to support both of us at once?
double dip.
It's like giving a Christmas present counts for two people.
Yep, there you go.
Well, real quick, if you've made it this far in the podcast, if you would be so kind, give us a thumbs up, hit the sub button, and hit the notification bell. Back to the broadcast.
Dan TJ was pretty good. I was trying to find the banner to roll while we were doing that, but like TJ said, there it is. Shout out to the plugs and shout out to Blake. Looking forward to this. The mint. He said sometime either end of March or beginning of April. So just keep an eye on this. There's a ton of mints that is happening over in March. So we'll see if he ends up deciding to go that route or if he decides to push it back just a little bit into April. But it's coming here soon. So if you guys have not got whitelisted.
A big thing he said too, not to cut you off, that it's day one ready. So as soon as you mint the NFT, you can use it right in the website. So
you could have just let me finish the sentence and then you could have.
No, I want to do it. No, I want you to finish it.
Hey, I'm gonna let you finish, but yeah, no,
great team. Finishing each other's sentences over here.
Mm-hmm.
You guys should get married.
Jinx.
Pinch
this weekend.
Yo, Mia. All right. Well, no, seriously though, shout out to Blake, everything that he's building over there. So if you guys have not got a waitlist yet, I think we got 5 more of those things.
Yes.
I don't know if we want to throw. We'll throw this in the Monday stream. Over there, a little Nafafa for everybody listening. AKA, you know what? Throw the word Nafafa. First person to write Nafafa gets a whitelist spot to the Spark Lab, and we'll give away 4 on Monday.
Wow,
there it is. Nafafa,
just like that.
Just like that. That just happened.
That's good.
But moving on, dude, we got to talk about the most hyped mint this month, or end of February, I guess technically, and now we're into March. But Goombles, we were talking about this on the live stream on Monday and how we thought it would sell out, and to everybody's surprise, it sold out.
Wouldn't it be not everybody's surprised it sold out?
Yeah, no, it definitely would have been a surprise if it didn't. But they things did not go according to plan for this mint over here. They minted on the 28th. There was I think it was 220 ADA was the final mint price, which was supposed to be 79 USD at the time of the snapshot. And it was a whitelist only mint. If you had the Goomlist spot, you were able to mint 3 of these. The website had a queue kind of system that was built from their own team. It wasn't using any of the like partner things like Anvil or Peppermint or any of that stuff. But they had their own queue system. It was working for some, and some of them were minting out, and a lot of people were running into issues. I'm assuming because there's a ton of people clicking the link. So eventually
they queue up 50 at a time, right? It was supposed to be in chunks of 50, I think. So like 50 would be in there, mint through, and then the next 50 would be added in. From what I remember from the Discord,
So
I had my wife to try to do it. I've had her FaceTime me. I was at 550 kilos. Like, Eric, call me when there's like 10 left. Then she called me up and I taught her how to mint, but it didn't work for me.
did
So
you get a negative number? Because mine went into like the negatives at one point.
to be honest, I don't know. She just called me up and it was like 10 left, and it was like our turn to do it.
I kept getting like a negative number, and eventually it corrected itself, and I got to the mint screen, and I was able to choose like the drop down box, get to 3, and I would click on the mint button, and then it would just like circle spin for a little bit, and then just go, the mint button would pop back up. And I just kept clicking it and clicking it like the degen I was, but didn't get it. Eventually I was listening because Farmer Nash was doing like a live voice chat over in the Discord, and a lot of people were listening in, so we were getting like real-time updates with him.
Oh, that's great.
Which I thought was really nice, because at least I wasn't like freaking out, and they weren't radio silent. Like, he was live on comms, just like, all right guys, what the problem is. He goes, and then he goes, all right, let me get with the dev real quick and I'll get you guys an update. And then he was like, hey, I'm about to type an announcement real quick, pay attention to this. So the transparency was there. I did appreciate that. And eventually it turned into the old Cardano like NFT mint. An address drop is what ended up happening.
I love that
Discord,
because I was able to do it from my phone. Not only that though, too, like stuff always happens with mints, regardless of how prepared you are, how planned you are. It's stuff's gonna happen. It's just how you respond to those situations that makes you a great leader and innovator in this space. I think you did a great job of, like you said, being transparent the whole time and just saying, you know what, we'll just drop the address, go ahead and mint that way.
Yeah, it's never what you want to do, right? Like, you always want to have a plan going to it. But like you said, at least he didn't delay it to completely just be like, no, guys, we're not minting today.
Right.
They pushed it forward. And I think that's part of the beauty of Cardano a little bit too, compared to some of these other chains. Because if I had that, like I said, on another thing, I may be way more hesitant to go ahead and just be like, yeah, I'm gonna go send this, and hopefully it just comes back to me. But I can understand especially people who are newer to the space, who grew up in like the whitelist era of Cardano NFTs. Like, yeah, you may be a little more skeptical to that style of a mint. It's pretty crazy, because now we're like dating ourselves a little bit. Like, that's just how we were born into that. Like, it was the Wild West when we started. So it was just, you don't even look at the announcement. You just see the address, put it in, have your
that's what I
password. Did. I got so,
to be honest, I was happy it went to that, because I couldn't, my wife couldn't do it on the phone at home, and I was like, I'll just do it when I get home. I was like being hopeful that it wouldn't sell out, and then I see the announcement, like, fuck yeah, I'll just do it on my phone right now, and I did it.
And I knocked mine out, and it took, I don't know, maybe like an hour and a half, like, to get mine. And eventually I got my 3, and I minted a couple cool ones. I got a couple tall ones. TJ, what you got? Tom, what about you? I didn't even get a chance to talk to you.
This was golden.
Oh yeah, you got one of the goldens, right?
Damn, you did. Nice.
I
got one of the helmet ones, and 2 fireman hats, with one with the demon wings.
Yeah, I bought a golden on my. I also bought a gold one.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Nice, dude. So
on the whatever that one is, squash sweater.
Squash sweater, nice. Yeah, I ended up getting 2 talls, and one of them that looks just like Farmer Nash. It was like the beard and the little farmer hat and the 3D glasses. And some of the people were that was like part of the big thing for me, was the address mint stuff was wild, like, to kind of see. But the other parts of that was like the I guess the Goombles stacks part of the mint, which was like the second part where for the public, but it technically wasn't public. It was anybody who submitted an address to the mini game on their website, and they did the address mint for that as well. And I ended up getting one of those in there, because it was just like, here it is, copy paste and just pray. And it was like the times of like, all right, what block are you? Like, all right, I think blocks 151, whatever, 1659 or whatever, 160 are able to get in. Anybody after that, you're screwed. And sure enough, it worked, and your boy got one last one. So
I remember playing that, but I don't know. Obviously, I don't think I did put my address in, because I wasn't on the list. Like, damn, I'm an idiot. I played the game, I didn't put my address in.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. So I didn't expect anything out of it, but I ended up getting it, so it was cool. But so the other parts of this, which was the big thing, great, congrats. They sold out. Maybe not the way they wanted to, but they did it, right? The interesting thing, and we talked about this on the Monday stream, was that they had 3 whitelist spots, right? And a lot of us were like, what are you going to do? And it's like, well, I'll probably mint one, and I'll probably flip a couple. Well, it seems everybody had the same idea as us. Everybody who owned one of these things and was able to mint their 3. And this number today, the percent listed, was one of the highest percentage listed of a new collection that I've seen, at least after release, especially as something as hyped as this. This was up at one point to almost like 39% listed on the market. We're down now to 31% as of the recording, which is on a Wednesday right now. So it's got a pretty decent sized correction on this. But typically you see like projects, especially on the flipping side, you may see them at like 20-25% like listed, like on the high side. But this was like really stood out to a lot of people. And then there was a lot of discussion over on Cardano Twitter about this. And like I said, we're just because there's a hype mint, don't let it distract us away from like how gloomy Cardano Twitter has been lately, and stirring the pot, because it sure stirred the pot. And one of the main gripes that we saw with a lot of people was, oh, you wanted to support this project, yet you guys are just here for your own bags and are looking to sell. We need to be better than this, was the argument I saw a lot of people take. How do you guys kind of feel about that? Because it's obviously changed a little bit since then, and they've broken over the 1 million volume, which is really nice. And they held above their floor. So there's a lot going on that's really not like red flags, but the percent listed really got people's attention.
It is a high percentage listed, and you're glad to see that people have held strong, kind of at, above floor at least, because it could have easily been people fighting to the bottom.
Yeah.
So that's definitely encouraging to see. I don't quite understand like how if you have 3 of something and want to sell 1 or 2 or all 3, it's no longer supporting the project in some way, especially when there's royalties on the sale, and it doesn't actually push below floor to kind of tank the project. It seems like it kind of works for everyone at that point.
Not only that, like what you're saying is too, like I agree, like if someone sold 1, 2, or even 3, like you said, I mean, when initial mints happen, usually most of the times the price is going to be super, super high, then correct maybe a few days later. So people might have been trying to ride that hype wave and then buy back in a little bit cheaper, make a little bit of profit, but also come back and get their Goombles. I still have mine. I know you need 2 though for the next mint, so you might see a little bit of a pump or a correction as far as a percentage wise listed once that announcement gets happened for the next sale. I don't know. I just think people are still going to flip in BD gens, honestly.
What I say is I haven't sold any of mine yet, but I just don't understand too the people that are so critical of it. How far along are we supposed to, like? Is minting something in the first place not sometimes enough support? Like how far along do you have to ride with the project to be like, all right, I've supported enough to the amount I said when I said I liked them and wanted to support them. How long do you have to stay with them? Like, what's the time limit on it? Do I have to go down with the ship like the captain? Like where does that kind of end? You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if it's going down and tanking. Everyone else is selling, but I support them, so I'm staying until fucking zero. Let's ride this out. You know what I mean? Like,
they're the band on Titanic.
End? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I just don't kind of get where that ends. Like you minted 3 of them. They helped their project sell out. They were already extremely hyped. That's going to add along to the hype. People are clearly buying in. They're over 1 million volume. Things seem to be running, their floor could be higher for people that wanted a quicker flip. Sure. They have actual things in development, which is what we originally got excited about. Seems like things are kind of on track.
Yeah. I think the main gripe right now is that Cardano Twitter is just we're still in a little funk. It's people, just because we had a big hype mint, I think it even maybe rubs a little more salt in some wounds for other people, because the volume is still very low. Everybody was very hype, and then everybody just wants to sell to make some money, and it just kind of puts I don't know, like the cherry on top for some people are like, you know what, everybody wants to support this brand new project, yet they're just going to get rid of it and dump it to the floor, which is not the case in this thing. Like I said, if this thing tanked and it was down to like 100 and something ADA, we might have a different conversation right now. But the floor is above mint. They sold out. They're over 1 million in secondary volume. Some may argue it may not be 2-3x what the mint price was, but they're still successful right now. So
even their owner distribution to how much they have is that's a really good number in my opinion. So
yeah, they're running. Yeah, it's almost, what is that? Almost 2,000.
1,700 owners to 5,000. I think that's pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, 1,732 out of what do they got? 5,000. That's actually really good compared to some of the bigger collections. That's 34%.
That's really good. You can't complain about that.
No, so I mean, and this is literally the day after the mint too that we're looking at this too.
People just needed something to talk about and bring up drama.
Well, it feels like the sentiment is almost like it's that, I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed. Like, I think a lot of people are becoming disappointed with what they expected to see more of in the space, which I guess was just like pure support from the community. People enjoy being in the community, but they're also here and get motivated a lot of times by the profits. That's kind of what gets people pumped and excited. Even in Discord communities, when you see things pop off, that's when like they really start getting pumped. Everyone's getting excited and hyped and posting jokes and memes, and they're all making money together and like having a lot of fun doing that. It's definitely a big part of why people are so invested with their time in this space, is because they need to spend that time to make sure they follow things to make that money. And it just kind of seems weird where people have this like idea like we need to go back and support the past projects that are still developing, which I agree with. That's great. And there's projects I want to see succeed, but just to kind of expect that from every single member of the community to be like buying into stuff from 2021, and just to sit on it for maybe 2, 3 more years as they continue to develop and not sell at all, when there's things they could be buying now and flipping. And also there's a lot of new people trying to build up. It's easy to say, hey, why are you guys all flipping right now when you have thousands of ADA, or possibly hundreds of thousands of ADA sitting in your wallet, and you were the one flipping back when space buds drop and things like that. That's easy to say now, when it's instead new people coming in trying to build up.
It's a good point too. Like, everyone's financial situation is different too. Like, I'm personally not going to buy into even some old blue chip project or old community, because I just don't have that liquidity right now. And if I did, I'm going to try to make plays that make more liquidity, so possibly go down the line and get into that project. It's not that I don't support them. I can support a project or support a team, but not directly own a piece of their NFT. Like, I can root for them, I can cheer for them on the sidelines, because I just straight up can't afford it. I would love to be a part of them, but everyone's financial situation is different. So
even you tweeting and saying a certain thing or just talking about it can be some sort of, like you said, supporting it without necessarily having to purchase that. There's plenty of people who buy bunches of these things that never tweet, never say a single thing about it. So like, you could argue that it goes both ways, 100%. I think
there's even projects that we talk about that maybe one of us or two of us have bought, but we all three would most of the time support the project that we're talking about. I mean, that's just what we do.
Or like there was that period where Dirtbirds had that nice run up, but it was kind of sustained over like a couple of weeks or so, where I rode that correction and bought and sold like 4 or 5 times in there, to like make little small incremental profits each time. I was selling trading each time, but I mean they were getting royalties on each one of those sells, and I didn't end up holding it. Is that not supportive though? Where they were getting actual ADA for that.
And not only does that, you need the people who flip to drive the hype, drive the volume, to get people in and out of the project. If there's no trading volume, but everybody who listed for a crazy high floor, eventually that floor is going to come crashing down because they realize there's no demand for this. So it is what it is, right? Like, it's a very high listing percentage, but it's already come down almost 10% overnight from that. So obviously there's going to be some sort of a correction there too. I think a lot of people things have been done differently. Had maybe most people, you could have gave everybody a 1-to-1 white list, and I'm sure that percentage would have been way different. But most of the time, maybe that was his way of also rewarding holders too, of like, hey, if you're going to want to flip this, maybe take some profits on it. But I know I'm confident enough in my product that we're going to be here for the long term, and regardless of what you guys do in the beginning, we're still going to be successful. So he kind of probably was taking a little bit of a gamble himself in that regard, because he's not a stupid guy. Like, they knew that you give people 3 of these, sure, people are going to flip these things.
Absolutely.
So that it's this interesting conversation when people tell you that you're not supporting, we need to be better than this as a community. It's like, you need those traders, you need those people in the ecosystem, and then the people who, if the project can stand on its own 2 legs, people are going to support it and keep it going regardless if people put some stuff on the floor. They're going to accumulate and do its thing.
That is a great point. You said that, like, he probably knew the people are going to flip, so that's why he gave us 3 to mint. Right, so you need 2 for the next white list and just 1 to play. So he said people can either mint for the next one, and hold 2, or just only have to hold 1. They could sell the other 2. He knew that. He himself is a minter. He's a flipper and degen, so he knows how the game works too.
And he never took a negative stance on it at all on Twitter. So, he was like, it is what it is, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when we get into this whole, like, you guys shouldn't sell thing, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Like, that's one of the stupidest arguments that you can make, is that you guys shouldn't sell this, because, like you said, Tom, the end goal for everybody at some point, unless, like you said, you're just got an abundance of this, or you're a small percentage of this crypto and NFT space, most of the people are going to sell at some point.
Yep.
When there's eventually going to be a number where it's like, I can't resist this anymore, I'm going to take a profit on it, or I have a financial thing that popped up in my life, I'm going to sell this. And a lot of the people that support, and you can still be a supporter. Can you imagine the people with Bored Apes that sold those things for hundreds of thousands of dollars and didn't still support Bored Apes after that? They're probably like, dude, I love this. This is probably one of the favorite things, but I just changed my life. You know, like that,
Yeah.
you know, like how can you be mad about something like that? And not saying that the price is right. We don't have the liquidity even here for that yet. And people, you know, people are arguing. I see this over on Twitter right now as well. It's a whole other thing, but you know, we need to be better as a community right now. You know, we need to prioritize certain things. And it's like, look, at the end of the day, we are not nearly there yet when it comes to the volume. Regardless of art or NFTs or whatever, or priority like mints, we're not even close to that yet. And in order to onboard other people into this ecosystem, there has to be a lot of you have to have a project that is hyped, and then you have to have a big community that supports that. And I think us, since we are such a tiny community, the big projects that are successful right now, we should really start to rally as a group. We are this whole community behind them. Let's rally. Let's show that support over on Twitter. Let's show that support by interacting, and that's really what's going to drive hype. And people are taking notice. Like, look at Ape Society when they jumped to the floor that, you know, as big as they got. They had people on other chains who couldn't argue with the prices anymore, where there's like, I got to accept what you guys have done and be like, kudos to you guys. Clay Nation, another one of those that people don't care about what's going on. People are like, oh, Clay Nation, yeah, I've heard of that on Cardano. It's things like that that are going to, you know, those kind of things we can rally behind that are going to get people over into this ecosystem. And it's not necessarily, we need to be better as there's the same mentality over on other chains. And if you tell me otherwise, you're lying. At that point,
at the end of the day, people from other chains are looking for projects, especially over here. If they're to come here, they're looking for a return of investment. That's why they went to Ape Society, because they saw the nice return that they could get from holding an ape, staking their ape in the frames, and all that. So I think the utility, unfortunately, right now is the main factor for a lot of these projects to be successful. And nothing against artists, nothing against art. I just know that if you want more people to come over here right now, that's going to be the biggest thing. Initially is going to be the return on investment for these projects.
Yeah, I just don't see the I mean, that's a whole other debate. I see that going on over on Twitter right now, is that if we just prioritize artists, you know, they would have a bigger return on investment, and just we're not there, man. It's not, and not to knock anything like that. It's just that is not the mentality of this space. The majority of people in this space want a community. They want something to rally around. They want some updates. And unfortunately, that most of the artists at this time, they're artists, right? That's what they do. And that's the reason that they partner with some of these big brands and this stuff to create this machine of Web3. And I think that's the beauty of it. So I don't know, maybe we're seeing an evolution of how NFTs kind of evolved over time. But to me, it's the cycle is going to keep going, I think, in this route for right now. What's going to make us stand out over on the Cardano side is going to be projects that innovate, that bring something different, and are not more of the same. So I guess we'll see how that goes.
You know, show that team conviction, keep that community together over long periods of time, like we've seen some projects do. And then someone's got to start, you know, producing here. We got to see some like actual, you know, end results for what their plans were, to get people really on here. Like that's a lot of these projects, especially like the ones, you know, Goombles we were just talking about. It's, you know, end support where it gets those users that aren't even necessarily into NFTs to kind of get them into Cardano. That goal's not met unless they actually have the game and all that kind of stuff up and running. So once we start seeing some of these projects really get to that point is when, you know, things will hopefully get a little more exciting. That's really where the test is going to be, I think, for the space.
Yep. And we're also in a bear market too. Like, so things aren't as exciting. So when they see an opportunity for something to potentially make money, and that, you know, something that's a little outside the norm, who's not going to flock to that to try to take advantage of that, you know? But yeah, anyway, shout out to Goombles, shout out to Farmer Nash for the sellout, man. I know we'll continue to support. We're big fans of the project, and we look forward to streaming some of the content over on our side as well. So big ups to him. And I don't think whatever just happened with the whole thing, I don't think this will even be much of a conversation here in the long run. So it's just something that we're talking about this week.
Even by the time this podcast drops Friday, they probably would be done.
We're on to something else, you know.
I just think it's an interesting, though, you know, like it is worth mentioning just because the overall kind of mood, like you said, seems a little gloomy, seems like a little bit, you know, disappointed, upset from some members. Some, you know, people have been here for a long time. But I also think some, you know, people have shorter memories than they, you know, realize, where like they were doing this a year ago. That was how they got to where they are now, was getting projects, getting whitelists, being early on things and flipping them for huge profits. And you can't knock people for trying to do the same now. You can't knock the hustle. When you say big ups, did you ever see that video with Chet Hanks? What's Tom Hanks' son?
Yes,
when he's at like the Grammys.
Literally think yes.
That's what I think of every time when he's doing the what is it, Jamaican accent. Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but
Really?
big
I
ups.
know,
Big
it's
ups,
funny.
yeah.
I remember
It's the Golden Globes. That's what I think it is, not Grammys.
I remember Big with Tom Hanks. Oh, that's about all I got for you.
No, this is his
Doesn't
son
hit the
making a
same,
fool
huh?
of himself.
All right, sounds good. Well, speaking of projects that think a little bit outside the box and they're keeping things fresh, how can we haven't really done a big update on this in a while, but we got to do it today because we're all ordinaled out over here. I'm sharing the right screen, right?
You're sharing the right
You are,
screen.
yeah.
All right, good. I thought about it for a
There we
second.
go, Jordan.
All right, Jordan, let's go.
You're hired,
Yeah,
Jordan.
easy peasy. Soul Shards over here. I don't know, we've talked about the raffle beforehand, but essentially Bitcoin ordinals or ordinal NFTs are becoming the latest hype over in NFT world right now. Someone genius, I forget the guy's name, I don't know if it's Casey something or whatever his name is, figured a way to basically split up Bitcoin and they're into Satoshis, and there's 100 million Satoshis in one Bitcoin. And basically with the Satoshis, you're able to essentially attach media to that, and essentially pictures, videos, all kind, whatever, I forget the different file formats. But because of that, people were able to now essentially have NFTs on the layer 1 of Bitcoin. And with that came ordinals. And originally it was way too hard to get. I remember looking at it in the beginning, it was like you need to download a Bitcoin node. It's going to be like 500 gigs to 1 terabyte of memory to go ahead and even download that. You're going to have to download this Bitcoin like core command prompt. You have to go in there and create a wallet. It's going to do all this crazy stuff just to be able to even make a wallet. Well, now it's a lot easier, right? We waited a little bit, and Ordinal's wallet's a thing, and Mallard took full advantage of that. So if you've been following them, they've had their 222 Ordinal Mallards that are out there. They were essentially almost like the traits, a lot of like unused traits that they never used over in the Mallard Discord, and they used the fun little thing in the Discord about like a portal to essentially bring them over. And dude, here, I'm gonna pull this over here. Can you guys see this? You see the portal? We got the little
Yes.
Bitcoin portal. Perfect. So essentially what they ended up doing is they had 222 of these things inscribed, which essentially is like basically minted over on the Bitcoin network, and they inscribed these 222 mallards, and you can see them here in the wallet right now. A lot of unused traits that they had never made it into the original collection, with some of these are really, really crazy looking. I was really hoping, I'm not lying, for this one right here. This is one of my favorites, the little like zombie.
That's one you wanted?
Yeah, it's the one I really did want. But the Majora's Mask, you can't knock these. These are amazing looking. And shout out to a guy, I think his name is Lucas, over on Twitter. He ended up getting the ape one, which got axed, which, don't get me wrong, this would have been an amazing one to add to the collection.
Oh, they should have added it.
But so look at, speaking of that.
Ooh,
okay.
Okay.
Wow, we got it on the same line right there, actually.
There we go.
So to dial this back, they came up with a storyline where they, in a Discord, you could raffle off your rune token on the website and send it in for depending on if they had different batches of invitation letter holders and mallard holders, all different things, you know. And eventually they did this raffle, and 222 people got picked. Well, shout out to the F-35ers, because not only did TJ and myself get picked, but a bunch of our members over in the Discord got
it was
these.
so cool to see.
Yeah, so it was really amazing. And so what ended up happening was they gave you a little quick tutorial on how to create an ordinal wallet. And then you were able to burn the soul shard that you got airdropped to you, which we were looking at right here in this picture. And these soul shards were able to be, I think it was 22 ADA for me, but you had to send in the soul shard, send in your ADA, and then it would burn it, and then they would send you back you had to give them your ordinal wallet address, and they would send the ordinal to your new Bitcoin wallet. And
it was so easy to make that ordinal wallet. I think Demas like it takes 1 to 2 minutes, and he was not lying how to do that.
Dude, you want me to pull a little quick ordinal tutorial here for us, guys?
Do it
over on the podcast. So yeah, essentially, if you guys do not know what ordinals are, we just explained to you. They are now, you can have NFTs over on Bitcoin, and this wallet changed the game for us. You know, you didn't have to download all the crazy stuff. What you ended up needing to do was go to ordinalwallet.com, and then it was just as simple as creating a normal wallet right now. You could either restore or create a new wallet. You literally go here, you create one, it asks you to create a little spending password, and then generate a seed phrase. And that was it. at the end of the day. And then it actually, once you are done doing that, after you've created all that as normal, you go over to the little Ordinal wallet and it has your address already saved in there for you. And it tells you pretty much you've got your wallet history, which you can see right here. I've received mine, or my inscriptions, which are essentially your NFTs. And then you can actually list these for sale over on other websites. There's a bunch of different things you can do with this, but even if you get logged out of your wallet, the only thing you do is literally enter in your seed phrase again, type in a new spending password, and boom, you're ready to go.
Yep.
And it's that simple.
Super simple.
And for a lot of people, I know it was like a scary task to be able to do this, but super simple, easy thing to do. They went ahead and actually dropped these into our wallets today. And shout out to TJ over here, because we're the cartoon sailors. What's cartoon
right,
sailor
baby.
boys?
TJ's rocks here, so.
No, what?
Oh yeah, for sure.
TJ's background's way different than mine.
Oh, and TJ's just cleaner. Like I like the yours has that like what is
reptile
this thing even called?
reptile.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it on the sailor one. TJ's
Not-
clean, I like that.
Not only that though, too. Like I
You should just give
cut
me
the
yours,
clip
Tommy.
out.
That's messed up, bro.
It's not
This
even
was-
good. You should give
This
it
is
to me.
my second favorite one. I like the ape one the best. This I talked about it in our live stream, and I clipped it out and I posted it underneath that because I literally talked about this stuff and I got it.
Well, dude,
Collusion?
What's that?
Collusion?
Look,
I think so.
dude. So yeah, shout out to you, because I mean, it does. I'm not gonna lie. Aesthetically, I think it looks cleaner. Mine has some cool traits to it, but not nearly the aesthetic wise. I agree, Tom. The reptile skin is probably not the best skin to match with it, but it works. But yeah, we're some cartoon sailor
Get the
boys.
laser
The
eyes.
laser eyes, so it's classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't forget those. So it was really cool to get a chance to do this. And then in true Mallard order fashion, you get all the hashtags, go ahead and post these different things up just to kind of raise awareness. And now we've got our first Ordinal NFT over
Cross
on
chain, baby.
You
over
really
on
didn't make the joke that
BTC.
he's feathered and lethal.
I didn't do the feather and lethal part. So my bad on that. But Tom, thank you for holding that down. But what you also could do, actually, let me pull this up over here. So we were talking about the ordinal side of things. So now the Mallard order has 222 of these over on there. They're working on getting verified, and they all have the inscription numbers that are in the 100,000s right now, which are still on the lower end of things. So I don't know the historical significance. There's tons of these things being minted now as it gets easier and easier to do. So I don't know if the lower numbers are maybe a factor. Some people are kind of betting on that. Others are just betting on the fact that now Mallard order gets verified over here, and who knows, people are maybe you got some stuff already listed right now over on the website. You can buy this with Bitcoin, which is pretty crazy to think about.
One of those pixeled Pepe sold for half a Bitcoin today.
Dude, they did, right? So
yeah.
There's another website over here that you can use, like the marketplace version of this is ordswap.io. And again, you can go ahead and this is where people can buy stuff, basically like an early concept marketplace over here. The interesting thing about this that you guys can do, and I don't know if you can see the top right of my screen, there's a little pink wallet thing up in the top there. And if you click that, you can actually connect a MetaMask to this and connect your MetaMask.
That I didn't know.
Yeah. So let me see if I can do this.
Now, I wonder if you could pull up the MetaMask through your phone or swap.
It probably could. So see, I just signed my my address into this, and now I can actually add BTC to my MetaMask and use that to buy on the ordswap.com with my MetaMask. So there's a little alpha for anybody who is looking to do this. And I can't do this, it's way too hard. It's actually not that bad. But it's just about the learning curve for a lot of different people. So I'll be curious.
It's just change. Change is scary for a lot of people.
Yeah, 100%. And see, if it's like the Wild West, but the Wild West pays if you know how to, you get in early enough and take a gamble on that sometimes. So it's a little nafafa out there for anybody. It's just a very interesting thing as it starts to come online. We'll see how popular this gets, but it seems to be getting a lot more popular, more and more the more that you do this. So. But a big shout outs back to the Mallard order for doing this, because not only if you say you're like, you know what, ordinals are cool and all, but I don't really see myself using these. I don't really want to participate in this. And I don't want to go ahead and burn that. Well, the Mallard order essentially just made you guys some money then, add some free value. If you guys want to go that route.
More free value.
And you didn't need to do anything. All you had to do was stake your mallards or your relics or invitation letters. It got you the rune. The rune was entered into the raffle, and they airdropped these soul shards out to 222 people. You can see they've already done 65,000 volume.
Well, let's backtrack. You had to pay in rune to enter the raffle to get that.
Right, but I'm saying the rune's generated by your Mallard. You're not doing anything other than staking your Mallard. So you paid for the Mallard up front, and you're now getting that. Essentially, you're earning that and not having to pay anything additional for the rune, unless you went on secondary and bought it for whatever reason. But so essentially, right here, you look at the floor price right now. We're at 3,868 floor price right now, and if anybody thinks that's just BS, look at the sales. Sales don't lie over here. People are buying at this price. The most recent sale, at least as of Wednesday, was 3,700 ADA that somebody's willing to pay for these. So you've got secondary volume on these things. I think so much so that these are actually in the top. They're number 6 right now in the last 24 hours in volume, if that says anything about them.
They were 3 earlier today, but still top 10 is great.
Yeah, so I mean, there it is right there. Mallard order bringing value. Who knows what the ordinals will do in the future? They're not promising anything for them, and I don't know that they're anything more than being a really cool part of history right now. I'm sure they could elaborate that. I know I was talking to Demosthenes in the holders chat yesterday, and saying it'd be really cool if you could do like a role based on this, like log in with your Discord profile, post your ordinal wallet in there and verify that you're a holder, and at least you could have some sort of cool role. And they did say to people too that if you did participate in the raffles, you didn't win, or even people that potentially did, they're doing like little care packages for you as well. So they're going to be giving back NFTs, rune, and other different things for people who support. Because I heard there was somebody who sent in like 30,000 rune and didn't get one. So they're looking to reward people back for that as well. So really cool community. And like I said, it's $1,300 right now if you hadn't sold it yet and you just got airdrop that. So that when you talk about utilities, sometimes it doesn't necessarily always need to be minting more stuff and getting you new things. Sometimes you can get drop things, and if your project is worth it and you have a cool idea, people are going to value that. And obviously there's been plenty of airdrops from other different projects that people floor these things for 10 ADA. And the fact that these things are holding this high of a floor just shows you the type of project that it is, that people value this.
The fact that a lot of their things have held the floors that they have is pretty crazy.
Right, the invitation letters, of course they're famous for that. And even if you look at invitation letters to this day, which was a free thing that got airdropped to people, 2,600 and jumps up to 3,000 on the second one right there.
What's the last sale? What's the activity like on these? It's got to be slow, but
2 days, 7 days, 2,700, 22, 3,000. I mean, not a ton of them selling. There's only 500, but still
there's little bursts of them selling off still.
Yeah. So big shout out to the Mallard order for
1% listed for only 500 minted too. I forget about that. There's only 500.
And yeah, that's really insane. So it tells you that people are looking to support this project, and that's a good example of a project that does this.
302 owners. Did you see that?
Out of the 500?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, people.
That's awesome.
People want to hold on to that, which is the cool part. And it just goes to show, like, if you have a good community built behind there, you got even decent artwork or good artwork. It doesn't, at some point, people are there to support the community and show if you're bringing them value. And it doesn't necessarily, like you said, always need to be the money factor. A lot of people were just like, this is really cool. I want to go ahead and try this ordinal thing out. Some were probably money motivated by that as well. Like, oh, I might be able to make some money off the ordinal part. And then the other people were just like, yeah, I just got airdrop $3,800 worth of ADA, or 3,800 ADA. I'm going to take that.
It's a great community, obviously, but it's also you can't knock that it's a great team. One of the best in the space, one of the best in Web3. Honestly, I'm not just saying that. They really are hitting all the marks every time.
How many people are doing that, right? Looking for a new opportunity. The only people that I can think of as far as the ordinal stuff that I know of, at least on the Cardano side, is obviously Mallard Order, and I know now Clayforce, not Adanauts. I know they were looking to do stuff over there on that side as well. I'm sure there's a couple others that I'm missing, but
of course,
there's not too many people pushing that kind of boundary. So it's cool to see that.
Absolutely.
And big shout out to Mallard Order. Big ups to Mallard Order around that.
I'm gonna watch that video after. I'm gonna make.
He sent it recently too. I don't know how Tommy doesn't know that one.
I was gonna say I could have swore I sent that last time we talked about this. I'm sure it's like the third time I brought it up on the show.
That's on me then, I guess. Dude, boys, getting ready before I was leaving here. I checked the mailbox yesterday, and I got a little bit of airmail over here. I thought
you were gonna sing the Blues Clues song for it to intro.
I just got up. All right. Yeah, I did get a letter.
Mail time.
This is what showed up in my mailbox, a little eye, and it just said, "This ain't a pizza." Over here, and shout out to our boy Trix over here for sending this. It was from a location that's unknown but close to Mexican border. Gave me a little zip code. What?
No, that's the name of the town. Location unknown.
No, true. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
You never been there? Go on.
Nah, I guess
Tijuana.
I haven't really gone out to the Mexican border too much, you know. But essentially, I did a little unboxing for this, and this was what was inside of it. You got a little picture for anybody there. You can see a couple people up on the balcony, a little kid kind of staring. Nothing on the back of it, so I was kind of confused. I flipped it open on the other side of this and got this little note over here. It just said, "Sorry, MFer, I have no idea who these people are. However, this is proof that they existed. Not proof that they were any good, though." Trix 23. P.S. Do what you want with this, Tommy.
What does that mean?
That's what I'm
Have
saying.
you ran it under, like, you know, black light, infrared?
I don't know if I want
What's the
to
method they
run this
use in
under.
National Treasure? It's like lemons and blow dryer.
In the
So
oven.
the invisible ink.
No,
Like
on
heat it
there.
up too. They gotta heat the ink
That's-
up. And
Yeah,
then
the blow
switch
dryer. These
from,
are, yeah, the
lemon,
hair
yeah.
dryer.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at with this. But dude,
You about to go steal a Declaration of Independence?
shout out to Old Money, man. Old Money does things so different. And a community. We've always stressed community about these guys are top notch. Absolutely hilarious, by the way. And there's a bunch of these people that are getting these things, and I think we showcased it a long time ago where I got the degradation thing mailed to me from there. So I'm assuming that he got some new addresses for people, and then he had some existing, and he's just airdropping shit over to people. It's like Airmail and stuff. And so we had Trix's Airmail over here, and people have been posting over in the Discord essentially all their different stuff that's getting mailed over to them. And you can see it just in,
Oh,
like
that
I
one's
said,
sick.
with Hoodro over here. He gets, or sorry, not Hoodro, Trix over here. He gets super creative with stuff. It's just like, fuck off, holy crap. He's got all these little doodles. MFer on the come up. Really just like funny
I like
stuff.
how they use the wax too to seal it.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he's got so many different wax things on here. Like there's like blood splatter. It looks like some lips behind there, a little lipstick. There's so many of these are so funny.
I can't show, I think, on YouTube even.
I don't know if YouTube will let some of these go up here. I just love Dilly's comment over. He goes, that attached note is so funny. He goes like, there's nothing to do with that info. Guy is a maniac. But there's a couple.
Oh, they did put the Blue's Clues letter. That's funny as shit.
Yeah, somebody put this over, and they even put the little degradation thing over here. I don't know. We'll see if YouTube blocks this over there. It's a little small. But you can see what we got over here.
Looks average to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
There are a couple mushrooms going on right now.
Rocket ships.
Yeah.
We never did talk to Blake about that. What's the content policy like?
I have no idea how that works. Hoodro Wilson looks like got one as well.
Can we blast some nips on Spark Labs?
I don't know. That's going to be a great question. Not Hoodro Wilson over here. But... yeah. Richard UFO Trixon, why don't you go fuck yourself? Apartment 9, Methico, D's nuts. So even Hoodro himself has got this. Again, this is some colorful temples. Just some amazing mushroom kingdom going on right now. There's so many mushroom kingdoms over
like the
here.
Fertility god or something, I think.
Yeah.
Familiar with that temple.
He's got the different kinds of wax seals over here, but it was just really crazy to see this. Like some of these are really good, where it's just like Zanhat and Unork, fuck off. These nuts 666. Like
you know what I like?
What did the mailman think of these?
Well, I like that he exactly. I like that he customizes for each individual person. They really took the time to send these out.
Oh, these are definitely not. He goes, even blood from Trisha Trixon over here. We got kisses from Trisha Trixon. His like fake wife over there, which is it's hilarious. So this, I don't know, man. I always have fun kind of like looking at these, but even these where it just gets like super creative with some of like the blood splatter and stuff. Like,
here's my letter.
Hey, Trix, dude, if you're looking, you got some MFers over here, you can airdrop.
Let me get a letter.
It's just funny, like 4,000 D. I don't know what that one says. Just kidding, city. They're so good. But I just had to shout this out because I don't know, man. It's so cool to see stuff like this, and this is what is fun about projects, and why I think we love Old Money so much, and why so many others do too. Is it's fun. It's not about there's hardly ever any talk about floor pricing. If there is, there's people just stomp them out in the comments real quick, and they get away. But you can even see just like, I guess, there it is. They've got the different letters over there, and he did different themes to them all. And
can you pick out your letter?
Yep. It's the one with the black dot. I'm the only one over there. I love this one. It looks like a little like sperm. Oh man, it's so good. I love Trix.
Like his art style too, like the
Yeah.
hard like lines and stencil look and everything. It looked really cool.
Did you guys know? I didn't know this until someone had told me about it. But did you know he actually back in the day did one of the Weeknd's early music videos before he ever got really popular? He did.
No.
He did the whole art style. He did a whole video, animated a whole video for the Weeknd.
That's sick.
Yeah, dude. And if you go back, I gotta find the actual thing because it's really good. It reminds me so much of Trix and his art style in there.
What's the song called? You know?
I don't know it off the top of my head, and if I find
Monday
it
through Friday.
I don't know about
By
that.
the weekend.
Oh, don't get Tommy started with the Friday shit he's posting every Friday. It's driving me crazy.
Friday. No, I have literally no idea what the name of the thing is, but if I do, I'll keep you guys updated on that.
Yes.
But yeah, maybe we'll follow down in the comments. If I find it, I'll even link it. Or maybe I could ask it in the Discord.
You link it.
You link it, mister. All right.
Yeah, we didn't get one, TJ, because Tommy's a child and Tricks are for kids.
Oh,
wow, that's shots fired right now. You're not getting a letter at all.
That was good. I like that.
All right.
Silly rabbit.
I ain't falling for it. I ain't gonna do it. Yeah, guys, I think for the most part, that kind of wraps us up towards the back end over here.
Does it? We got a few more topics we can talk about.
Do we?
No, we don't.
All right, fair enough.
Is Tommy abandoning the show?
Yeah, that
is
a
TJ in the trenches.
Tommy put his 2 weeks in.
I did put 2 weeks in, guys, but a little vacation time, that's for sure.
HR didn't approve it though, so
you
take the weekend. That's fine.
Is it so? It's just unpaid.
It's unpaid.
Unpaid PTO.
You have to use your sick time.
Yes, absolutely. But no, yeah. So we'll be going away this weekend. I got the wedding this weekend. Finally, it's here. We've been talking about it for a while. It's wild to think that it's actually here. So it's gonna be weird to kind of disconnect a little bit.
You are gonna be like a person missing their drugs for 2 weeks. You check your shit all the time.
Yeah,
just missing my drugs, you know. Yeah. But no, I mean, it's gonna be weird, but at the same time, like it's gonna be kind of nice to disconnect a little bit. So
who are you trying to convince, yourself or your future wife here?
The fact that she probably won't see us at all, I'm definitely not convincing her. But no, it's gonna be weird because it's just like there's so many big things about to be upcoming that I'm gonna be like out of the loop. The Goofy Gophers mint, it's gonna be live when I'm not there. So
are you allowed to mint that on your honeymoon?
It's 24 hours for the whitelist. I think it's on the 10th on a Friday, so we don't fly out until Sunday. So I think I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna sneak in there before we get started for the day. I do think I'm gonna do that. So
you should bring your laptop though, just in case it's a PC mint only or Wallet Connect only. You should think about that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, you didn't think about that. You're gonna do it on your phone, weren't you?
All right, I'm picking up what you're putting down right now.
If not, you're gonna have to call your brother to drive to your house to mint it for you.
Yeah, you're right.
I was like, shit, I didn't even
airdrop. Go.
We're gonna be missing you for Monday live stream.
Yes.
Wednesday show. Monday live stream.
Wednesday show.
Ooh. Then you're back for the live stream.
I may show up at the live stream on Monday. We'll see. Maybe
no, the third one. I mean, you're back. It's 4 shows.
The 20th. The 20th, yes. The 20th, we've got a fun guest on. It's a really little alpha. We won't tell who, but we got a guest on for the 20th. As long as that holds up.
A tease.
I got to give something because I'm gonna have nothing to give for a few weeks over here. I'm gonna be popping over in chat.
You're gonna come back to the house on fire.
But I love Blake's comment.
Discord shut down.
Blake was like, I love to see the dynamic between the F-35ers once I'm gone. And it's like, me too. I want to see what happens, dude. I just want to see the two of you riff, not even a guest. Like just the two of you guys go back and forth, and let's see the live streams go.
Well, TJ's had a few practice shots at the intro, so I think he can nail it no problem.
Well, Tommy just likes to talk and take over intros, so he just kind of manifests that himself.
But I mean, you've sometimes in the beginning,
we live, baby.
Tommy has a couple hiccups, and you'll sometimes get a little restless and just bust one out yourself.
Yeah,
this the slow motion thing is just like I can't do that one.
No, I'm saying the intro for the podcast, even the whole.
Oh yeah.
Hey, bro,
yeah, I'm definitely gonna tweak that a little bit, Tom. I'm definitely tweaking that.
All right, you got control, dude. Do your thing. But yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting. So I don't know. Hey, wish you guys luck, dude. I wish I'll be showing up over.
You're
in
not gonna be
chat.
watching?
I'll try to. We'll see. It's gonna be a 5 hour time difference, so it'll be like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll
Just
probably
tell
be on
the
like
wife to tune in too. She can watch.
I'll be
What's
live
the
from the
deal?
side of the road. Like, all right, hold on. They're doing the intro. All right.
Just tell her take a shower, take a nap, then you can hop on real quick.
She's gonna kill me if I do that. God. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to
banging on the bathroom door. You're like, I just ate something funny. Just give me a
Yeah.
second. You're like whispering into the Twitter space.
I'm in the other office right now.
It's funny.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no,
No,
it's
that's
gonna be a lot
fun
of
for
fun.
you, man. Yeah, Hawaii would be fun. You get married this weekend, you know.
Or yeah, dude, you guys will be there. We'll be hanging out. Maybe we'll get some pics for the Discord. We'll see.
You got the vows written yet, or what?
Doing that a little tonight and tomorrow. I'm finishing it up.
You're not doing it tonight.
So what I've been doing is just doing a little typeys on the phone, and then I need to convert that. Yeah, I gotta convert it into some written stuff.
Is she capping you at a certain time, or are you just free flowing both of you guys?
Well, we're doing a first look, so we're gonna do the vows beforehand, and then we'll do like the traditional
ones. Okay.
Yeah, so you guys don't need to hear all that, you know.
I want to hear it. I want to hear
full behind the scenes. Tune into the F-35 exclusives.
We'll be live streaming the wedding.
Yep, there you go. Yeah, it's gonna be wild. No. But other than that, just a quick heads up for anybody. I did have to follow up on this. This is the video that Trix did with the Weeknd. It's called "The Knowing." Is the name of the song from like 10 years ago.
Oh, you've just done that still right there.
I was gonna say this looks like Trix's art. It's crazy.
If you look at this video, like it just screams everything that even the newspapers and everything. It just screams his like style. The fact that he animated for the Weeknd video, this thing, it's got 9 million views. But yeah, that right there just screams old money to me. Like you can see like the early inspiration on how he does some of the like this, the people, especially because you can see it in the new like the new bills and even the old existing bills. Like
why doesn't the Weeknd have a bill?
I don't know. He needs to get back in contact. I have no idea. Like that's the thing. I don't know too much about like Trix's like personal history, but I can tell you, like, I'm sure he's an very accomplished person at this. Looking at like some of the stuff that he's done, it makes sense now. You know,
it's always interesting to me how that gets connected, though. Or even with who did Korn do the music video for?
Oh, he did for a Little Nas X.
Little Nas X, just like how that relationship, got started, how they ended up DMing or whatever the case might have been.
Yeah,
it's very interesting.
It's crazy to see, man, but it's fun too. Like it's just cool to see like the art styles and like just the like how like now you see it, but like back then it's wild to see the inspiration on kind of where he started at and where he's at today. So big shout out to Trix.
Such old money,
right?
I love it.
I love it too. So big shout out to them. And if you guys have not been paying attention to old money, the MX bills are getting close. The next bill collection over there. So yeah, you maybe want to be paying attention to old money too. A lot of mints upcoming, man. So I'm gonna miss a couple of them, but we'll be back in time. Just
you're not gonna miss them, but you're gonna be able to talk about them until you get back.
Nominations happening on the throne room on the 4th, on March 4th, on the day of our wedding. So I think that's gonna run for a little bit for her monsters.
They did say that it's gonna run for a bit, yeah.
Yep. And then you also got like you said, Goofy Gophers is gonna happen during that time frame. And then even the Her Monsters mint starts on the 17th, goes through like the 21st or something. So
you couldn't have picked a worse time to go on a honeymoon.
Hey, you know what? I'll be enjoying it though. So.
I'm just kidding. I know.
We'll be good.
Have you talked to me about postponing?
Yeah,
just put it off a month or something. Have you brought that up even?
Dude, Tom, honestly,
just a discussion. Is that fair? Right.
That is a great idea, and I honestly think I need to talk to her right now.
If you want to not get married, it's a great idea.
I think it'd be a very fast divorce. If that happened.
Guys, at that point,
I think I'm just gonna go ask her real quick, and we'll see how that works out for me.